Welcome to Don't Feed the Gondolas. It's been a week in which yet another mobile phone was found in Mountjoy Prison. Apparently it was cunningly hidden in the last place the prison guards thought to look, in amongst all the heroin. With Brendan O'Connor tonight, a man who used to be in a band with his brothers and shot to fame with a song about a grown man's obsession with a 16-year-old. The parallels with Michael Jackson are just spooky, aren't they? It's Finbar Fury. And with Darragh O'Brien tonight, a man who once said this: if I had £1 for every time a person has met me and said, actually, you're okay, then I'd be very rich and wouldn't have to do game shows. So here he is, appearing on yet another game show. It's Mr. Popularity himself, Jonathan Philbin Bowman. We now have to apologise to fans of our second round due to the wanton intrusion of round one. Props in the news. Each team are given props which refer to people or events reported in the papers this week. The teams simply have to take off all their clothes and run screaming around the studio. Or something like that anyway. Brendan and Finbar, you go first. What have you got?
Okay, we've got a turkey and an old battle axe. I could make a cheap shot about Twink's panto with Dustin, but I won't.
Thank God.
I presume this is something to do with the budget and the fact that taxes were axed, but unemployed people, as usual, are complaining, saying it was another turkey of a budget for them, and they got £3 extra. And of course, the catch cry from the unemployed, only £3 extra. I mean, they could get fish and chips, they could hire a video, they could buy a jar of sun-dried tomatoes, they could buy probably 6 copies of The Big Issue and sell them for £6. And then if they kept doing that for about a week, they'd become millionaires. I don't know what's wrong with these people, frankly. So, yeah, that's what I think it's about. Finbar.
Finbar thinks the turkey is a hat.
It looks like a rugby ball after Ballyfermot the Fingless has finished with it.
I'll go with my answer on that.
I think that would be a wise decision, yeah. I think that would be a wise decision. And in fact, I will give you... I'll give you 2 points because you're pretty much nearly there. The answer is actually the Minister for Social, Community and Family Affairs, Dermot Ahern. Just days after a huge giveaway budget, Minister Ahern decided to withdraw the usual Christmas bonus given to people on supplementary welfare. However, he has since tried to cleverly back away from this decision. According to Saturday's Irish Times, officials at his department were now using this brilliant argument. The phrase "a Christmas bonus should not be paid" did not really mean a bonus should not be paid. Officials have been in contact with the health board to make this abundantly clear to avoid any possible misunderstanding about the matter. But this hasn't prevented outrage among many elected representatives, even some Fianna Fáilers. This week, Senator Des Hanafin demonstrated his anger in the House by doing a poo onto a piece of paper.
I'm quite satisfied the consensus of the meeting would be in favour of my motion. So I have agreed on request to leave my motion on the order paper.
It should be said actually while we have Finbar Fury here, nothing to do with what you were saying there, but you mentioned there about Sweet 16, Finbar's big hit, and congratulations on it. But I heard that he was obliged to release a song a few weeks later under the title "It was very dark in that nightclub, Your Honour." Actually, she was covered in makeup.
There was a lot of drink taken.
Darren, Jonathan, what have you got?
We have a mobile phone.
Ooh, very nice.
And a placard with the word "no" written on it, which brings us all the way
positive,
back to Des Hanafin again, unfortunately. But it is to do with mobile phones and stuff like that, because there have been fights breaking out in the last week over mobile phones. In particular, I mean, people are now getting very angry about people bringing mobile phones into cinemas, and I know I was in the middle of a film and I was in tears and I was just getting to the really emotional high point, and then somebody's phone went off and ruined the thing, and I can't watch Babe Pig in the City again now. It's just been destroyed for me. But actually, they're actually arming people now with these, so that if somebody's phone goes off, you can make a silent protest by taking out a 6-foot plank and going, "Oh!" until they put down their phone.
You can actually get smaller ones now.
Oh, can you?
Yeah,
right, okay.
they're getting smaller all the time.
Yeah.
I think this is probably to do with trusting, vibrant entrepreneur Dennis O'Brien, who has these incredible erections. And Dennis, you see, they're trying to injunct his erections because it's Mary O'Rourke has allowed him to have these erections, or encouraged him at least. And in her presence, he his stock price gets harder and harder and harder. And basically, he wants to put these erections up all over the place, including in Northern Ireland. I mean, this is kind of it's a plot to unite Ireland by putting masts up north, so you can receive.
So you can unite against.
Yeah, but the air cell says no.
Actually, the Donegal riot, I believe, was nothing to do, by the way, with the pylon thing. It's because somebody's phone went off last week during Titanic, and all of Donegal was watching it, and they all got really distracted. And now people in Donegal have no idea whether the ship went down or not.
Must be terrible that not to know. Well, much as I regret to say it, I have to give you 3 points because Jonathan was absolutely right. The answer is, of course, the village of Kerrykeel, County Donegal, where this week locals wrestled with Gardaí in an attempt to prevent the erection of a mobile phone mast in the village. Apparently, talks between ESAT and the locals broke down when the villagers surprisingly rejected the usual offering from the company of shiny beads and flintlock rifles. Last-minute attempts were made to avert the crisis by using local TD Harry Blaney as a mediator, but that didn't work because no one could get him on his mobile phone. So there you go. After all those wonderful maths, the scores are that Dara's team got 3 points and Brendan's team got 2 points. If you want to know what's going on here, then you're just about to find out. Each team are shown the merest flash of videotape from which they must guess what is going on here. Brendan and Finbar. For you, we have a friend of Finbar's.
Charlie born and Ben done at the stake, is it?
Which one of them was a friend of yours? I think it was Charlie.
Is Charlie a friend of yours, Finbar?
He is indeed.
And have you ever lent him money?
No, he's given me a few bob already, but I've never lent him anything.
Oh, really?
No, oh, really, yeah.
How much would we be talking
He
about?
gave me a taxi fare home one night.
I think it was Charlie ceremonially burning copies of The Green Fields of France, because he was always a very prescient individual, and he knew that if this song was repopularized, that every drunk idiot student for the next 20 years would break into, well, how do you do, young Willie McBride?
I give you, for that answer, no points, because I have no idea what you were talking about, I'm afraid. The actual answer dates back to the 1973 general election. This is actually an election rally. Now, at the time, C.J. Haughey's seat in the Dáil was under threat from a local protest candidate called the Piano Man. Now, he was called this because he said he was going to spend the entire campaign living inside a hollowed-out piano. So, during this particular election rally, C.J. was asked, did he have a message for the Piano Man?
They're not Phil Coulter's fans, are they?
Darren and Jonathan, you get a VT of something very rare, a star of Today FM.
I'm hoping you'll teach me a few tricks today.
Wow.
Wow.
Is that Mr. Pussy?
Close.
That's Ian Dempsey in a gym slip, which is a bit freaky. Which I presume is from the good old days where 2FM was really short for cash and they asked all their DJs to take part in porno movies. Ian is playing the role of a 16-year-old. You'd know all about that Finbar from the songs and everything like that. Yeah. A very little sweet 16-year-old he was as well.
Dave Fanning does Dallas being another.
That's the other one, actually. And then Jerry Ryan comes in and addresses a workman going, ooh, it's very hot in here, isn't it? And then that rear of the year makes an appearance. So it's a horrible thing. He only did it for the cash, and it's disgraceful. Dave Fanning actually comes in later and goes, let's play the B-sides. And it all just gets horrible. It's horrible.
It was when Barry Lang delivered the pizza that I turned off.
They don't call him Barry Lang for nothing, I'm sure. Jonathan, do you have any thoughts?
Very few. I mean, well, plenty, but none about that.
All right,
I haven't a
okay.
clue what he does in before breakfast, and I haven't a clue. Fetching shade of pink, though.
Okay. I'll give you no points for that as well, just in the interest of fairness, because the actual answer is that before Ian Dempsey became a DJ, he followed his original dream to be a superhero. And he did spend a brief period of time at Superhero College, and what we have actually is some very rare VT of him working out with Wonder Woman. However, he left shortly after. See, can you guess why?
2, 3, 4, and try down. Back 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, exhale with the music. Inhale, exhale. Inhale.
Unlike...
Breathe in, breathe out. In. 2, 3, 4, and inside you like. 4, and outside. 2, 3, and 4. 4, and again.
That boy's got rhythm, that boy.
I would say, on behalf of everyone in Ireland, that I found that very arousing.
that wasn't that
And I think that's the kind of thing that could bring couples together if used properly.
Couples of what together? So I'm afraid that after that, the scores are that Dara's team got no points and Brendan's team got no points. When we come back after the break, Jonathan Philbin Bowman reveals what it's like to be an 80-year-old trapped inside a boy's body. Back here real soon.
He's not my...
Welcome back. Welcome back. A quick bit of biology news now. Scientists this week were stunned by a new report which claimed that women with large breasts are more intelligent than women with small breasts. However, the study also found that if a woman does have big tits, nobody really cares how smart she is.
Sean,
now for
what about the large-breasted man?
What about him?
Nobody cares either.
Yeah, nobody cares. Time now for Save the Nation, where we test how much in tune our contestants are with the average big-chested intellectual on the street. This week, we went to where this week's budget originally came from.
Yes, to celebrate the arrival of the budget, we've come to Charlie McCreevy's hometown. This is Selbridge, County Kildare. As you can see, it's absolutely thriving on all the bounty given to it by the Minister. The funny thing about the Selbridge Community Centre is that it's really hard to get into. Hats are so popular in Selbridge that even the bins wear them. And as you can see, Selbridge is currently being terrorised by gangs of elderly Hells Angels driving electric vehicles.
That's Selbridge for you. Number one on my tourist map, I can tell you. So, Finbar, you go first. Your question relates to the deregulation of the phones that happened this week, so now we can choose who we want to overcharge us. The question we asked was, this week a number of new companies said they can do what Telecom Éireann does, but does the country really need more fat blokes to stand on the pavement drinking tea and scratching their arses? We asked this woman,
Singing
did she
the Green
say
Fields of
A,
France.
yes I do, B, no I don't, or C, I like watching fat blokes scratch their arses? Thrills don't come that easy at my age.
C.
C? You reckon she actually said that?
Yeah.
You've never seen this programme before, have you? Let's look at the
You've
VT.
never seen that woman before either, clearly.
Let's look at the VT and find out.
This week, a number of companies said they could do what Telecom Éireann does. Do you think that Ireland needs more fat guys to stand on the pavement drinking tea and scratching their arses?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. I'm one of these fat guys that sit on the side of the street scratching their arse.
Just need to point out that was answer A there. You got that wrong.
Did I get that wrong?
All right, yeah, sorry. Okay, if you're happy getting it wrong, that's grand. That's fine with me. So, Brendan, your question is this. Dublin Corporation says it will cost £1 million to clean up Dublin after Christmas, but surely knocking down the north side will cost more than that. Oh, it's a joke, come on.
So how do your north side neighbours feel about questions like that?
Well, I'll find out, won't I?
Would it be fair to say that your wife and children are at home on their own now, yeah?
No, they're hiding on the south side someplace.
And apparently the back door is open. The alarm is 8205.
We asked this man, did he say A, can't stop now, I've been holding in this huge fart for the last half hour? B, knock down the north side, man, I like the way you're thinking. I've got some pretty innovative solutions to the refugee problem as well. Let's just say the words cattle prod and Vaseline would figure big in my plans, know what I mean? Or C, I'm a tourist, so I have to answer you in Welsh.
Yeah, something tells me you've taken the competitive element out of these A, B and C things. It can only be one, really, but...
Well, obviously.
Let me digress for a while first.
Okay, you do that.
I think it's outrageous that they're spending £1 million on this so-called Operation Clean-Up to clean up after Christmas, because, as I have suggested, I've written to the Dublin Corporation saying that they could get my mother in, and they could call it Operation Could You Not Keep the House Clean for Even One Day of the Year? Or maybe Operation Don't Mind Me, ye all go out and have a good time and I'll stay here and clean up. And she'll do it for free. And she likes the burnt toast as well, and she always has the smallest lamb chop. So, having weighed up the evidence as usual, I would say C.
You would say C.
Unless he told him what to say, in which case it's A or B.
Okay, yes, very good, yes, hedging your bets. Let's have a look at the VT and find out.
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you a quick question, please? It's been reported this week that it's going to cost £1 million to clean up Dublin after the Christmas. Do you think, though, it might cost more than £1 million to knock down the north side?
Cost two. It's all dirt. All dirty. In America, you wouldn't see it like that at all. No, yeah, I suppose they'd spend a lot of... They'd have to spend a lot of money on it. Dublin is a very dirty, a lot of stray dogs there. So that's what we see about it.
Well,
Answer D.
we assume it was Welsh, anyway. So 2 points for that, well done. Now, Dara, your question concerns the fact that the population of the state is now at an all-time high. Obviously, it was a bit higher before the famine. But, you know, according to eyewitnesses like Sinead O'Connor. The question we asked was, the population is now at its highest level ever in the history of the state. With that in mind, can we really risk letting Eamon Casey home for Christmas? We asked, ooh, some of his children are in. We asked, this man, did he say, A, he did it well, didn't he? How many more is doing it? B, can't talk now, I've got several dead fish under my hat and the agency are watching me. Or C, well, as Noel Rattigan once said, hoist the sheets, open the box and slap the weasel Nancy.
I'm not sure which of those answers is most depressing. Probably the real one about he did well, look at him, lots of other people are doing it as well, which is always the case with Charlie and with Eamon Casey and all these people who do badly. I mean, if Eamon Casey got off the plane like with 2 Bangkok lady boys on one arm and a syringe hanging out the other, like, and a big t-shirt saying, have you seen me son? I haven't. Then there'd still be a bunch of people like your man going, good man yourself, you showed them up in Dublin. God. So I presume, I would hope that he has a fish under his hat, right? But I'm presuming,
well, it's not that way.
Presuming it's A.
You're presuming it's A. Let's have a look at the VT and find out.
Can I ask you a quick question, please? Can I ask you a quick question, please? It was reported in the newspapers this week that the population of the state is the highest ever in the history of the state. With that in mind, do you think should we risk letting Eamon Casey in for Christmas?
Why not? What have you done?
I thought it was well known what he'd done.
He did it well, didn't he?
Didn't he?
That's it. And many more is doing it.
There you go. 2 points, well done. So, Jonathan, yours is the budget question. It is this horse racing fan, Charlie McCreevy, this week cut betting tax in half. Is this just another example of the minister indulging his passion for riding? We asked this man, did he say A, I'd like a bit of it myself? B, a man can have accidents asking questions like that around here? Or C, passion for riding, isn't that the name of Eamon Casey's autobiography?
It's all out, John, as regards particular implication that's sent there about the budget. I would say the budget now, I really don't think the typical RT to focus on one thing. So, and it's probably the Irish Times yourself. In that particular regard, and I trust the people that are there to make a sensible and sane kind of response to that particular matter in that regard. But as well know, I go to Cheltenham now every year. People complain about the advance of the welfare for next year. But in regard to the things that go to Cheltenham, this in fact, this new betting tax reduction in that tax comes into effect last year Cheltenham, so I won't benefit from myself personally. I would like to say that. With regard to the particular question, this is a particular begrudging sort of question in that regard that you will go on with that, and I hope that makes the matter clear. Can I go on to say, can I go on to say, now Charlie often says to me, things are not often that black and white. But I would say, now I now forgot the number of options put forward in the pressure groups at the time. I would say, that man looks accident prone to me. And I wouldn't wish an accident on him at all if he come into my constituency authority, but I would say it's B.
He said B. Let's have a look at the VT and find out.
Excuse me, sir. Could I ask you a quick question, please?
Yes, sir.
This week, Minister for Finance, Charlie McCreevy, gave tax relief to the horse industry. Do you think this is an example of the minister indulging his own passion for riding?
Absolutely. Absolutely, and especially in this constituency.
And are you happy about that?
Oh, I'm very happy about it. Just I like to have a bet myself as well.
So, after all that, the scores are that Dara's team got 2 points and Brendan's team got 2 points. In just 120 seconds' time, we'll be looking at the end of our final round, 60 seconds of facts. I ask a minute's worth of questions about the week's events. They get a point for the right answer, or 2 if they can get a laugh out of our audience from Ian Dempsey's Fitness College. So, Dara and Jonathan. Oh, sorry, Brendan and Finbar. Shit, I always get that wrong. Brendan and Finbar, your 60 seconds of facts starts now. Over the next 6 weeks, Gardaí are to man over 40,000 checkpoints in the battle against what?
Jonathan Philbin Bowman.
Christmas booze is the actual answer. The government has saved 62 million in a crackdown on what?
Is it Jonathan Philbin Bowman?
Dole Cheats is the actual answer. Shane solicitor Elio Malocco has just launched a new magazine aimed at who?
Jonathan Philbin.
Men is the actual answer. Due to a technical hitch last week, listeners to Morning Ireland were treated to the sound of what?
Jonathan Philbin.
Silence is the actual answer. Joe Dolan is denying rumours that he's going to do what?
Jonathan Philbin.
Get married. Get Finbar is the actual answer. A man who hitched around Ireland with a fridge has been signed up for what?
Ireland's Bard Sisters.
Heineken commercial there is the actual answer. The owner of Napoleon's penis says he wants it handled with what?
Kid gloves.
No comments there from Finbar, I see. Okay, dignity is the actual answer. A survey showed that under 16s in the north side are more likely than the other kids to be sold what?
John.
Cigarettes is the actual answer.
Jonathan Bowman, whatever.
Dara and Jonathan. There are 60 seconds of facts starts now. Dublin Corporation claim that the plan by Dublin taxi drivers to introduce taxi sharing over the Christmas period is what?
Be along about an hour.
Unlikely to shut them up would be one thing.
Legal is the actual answer there. Last week the Cranberries vowed that the lyrics on their new album will be less what?
Juicy.
Whiny. Going on a bit.
Sensible is the actual answer. Last week Brad Pitt dumped his fiancée Jennifer Aniston on what?
Dumped her on me at a party and she's like, oh, I'm held by an invisible force.
Oprah Winfrey is the actual answer. In Cuba, the Communist Party is proposing the reinstatement of what?
Slogan. The Cuban entry in the Rose of Tralee.
Christmas is the actual answer. Compared to their southern counterparts, Northern Catholics are less likely to go where?
Hell.
Heaven.
Mass is the actual answer. According to a new survey, the biggest single cause of car breakdown is what?
Women.
Shane from Boyzone no longer being a mechanic. They miss him, you know that?
Batteries is the actual answer. Apparently, studies have shown that the strongest weapon in curbing smoking is what?
Not smoke.
It's a long plank with a nail at the end of it, like, and you just go,
Goss is the actual answer there.
Do you not think we should win this week? I haven't won for ages, like.
Well, we'll see, won't we? So at the end of all that,
already Dara's won. Like, did we not win?
I don't. Come on.
Don't be ruining it for them.
What? I'm a bit embarrassed about it.
Yeah, you'll be up to Donegal going, the ship went down. Hey, there you go.
Okay? Don't be huffing. You won loads of times. Oh, look at him now. So after all that, the final scores are that Brendan's team got 16 points and Dara's team got 17 points. They're tonight's winners. Thus ends another half hour of speculation as to what Brendan O'Connor's hair colour really is. Thanks to Brendan's guest, Finbar Fury. And with Dara, his new friend, the ever-popular Jonathan Philbin Bowman. But as we go, this week it was reported that the British Catholic newspaper The Universe has called for a boycott of Boots the Chemist because an outlet of the shop has been giving out free condoms. So earlier on, I rang The Universe to lend it the support of a small village in the west of Ireland. Thanks for helping us feed the gondolas. Good night.
Good afternoon, Gabriel Communications.
Oh, hello. Is it The Universe magazine?
It is, yes.
Oh, that's great. Could I speak to somebody, please? I just wanted to make a comment, please.
Right, just hold on 1 minute.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Nick Basie.
Hello, is that The Universe magazine?
It is.
Hello, I'm sorry to bother you now,
No,
but
that's all right.
I'm ringing you from Ireland.
Yes.
And I just wanted to ring up to make a comment. Because it's been in all the papers today about that The Universe is taking a stand against Boots, the chemist, about the condoms. And I just wanted to ring up and give you my support.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Because, you know, it's very permissive times we live in, you know, and my name is Monica Looley. And I'm ringing you from a little village in the west of Ireland called the Hasgraw.
Right.
You probably don't know it.
No, I don't. It sounds,
you
lovely.
wouldn't notice it actually if you went through it. But I just wanted to say now that there's no condoms in a Hasgraw, and we're all behind. It's madness, isn't it? Have they gone completely mad in Scotland?
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It makes you wonder.
Well, why are they giving them away for free and encouraging people to do that sort of thing? You know.
That's exactly what we're saying. Exactly it. It's very kind of you to, to bother to phone stuff and let us know. And I'll pass that on to the editor. I'll make sure you know.
That's great, because I just think it's people do make a shit of it as well, you know. The people, only today now, I'm the chairperson of the parish committee here, you know.
Yeah.
And one of the people on the committee now, you won't care about this, but his name is Johnny McDoo, and he owns the local shoe shop. Well, he owns the only shop in the village, to be honest with you, and it's called Johnny's, you know. And when we have a local festival
every year in May called the Hasgra Goes Far Festival. It's our sort of slogan to get tourists, you see. But the place gets very muddy because we have ploughing, and he gives away free Wellington boots, you see. And he was going, oh look, my shop is called Johnny's and I give away free boots, and he thought that was absolutely hilarious.
That's not good.
And I think that's disgusting.
What was the name of the village again?
Det Adeles romantiske helg går ikke som planlagt.